Hello there, I'm leesusss. Welcome back to Viscera Cleanup Detail. And let's start as we mean to go on by throwing some acid around. There we go. Look, this one needed a couple of acids on it to clean it up. We'll leave that one to stew, shall we? Come on, J-Harm, behave yourself. At least I can use the J-Harm on that one. It's a rare thing if I'm happy to be using the J-Harm for something. But there we go. So we're in an interesting position here, aren't we, with the Let's Play, with the video and the game itself, which is most of this stuff is done. More than half of the work is done, and it also means that we have seen. Oh dear, glitchy. We have seen all the interesting stuff that there is to see. We know the level, we know what's happened around. We might find a few more interesting secrets or interesting bits of text around the area, but probably not. We've done everything and we've seen everything, and it starts to get a little bit trickier here. The interest starts to wane a little bit. I mean, you can see the end of the site, but there's a bit of a grind to get there. You're at the what I like to think of as the metaphorical 3:30 p.m. in the Let's Play and also in the game, where energy begins to flag, and it's trickier than you might think just to finish off. It's a good thing, of course, for me that I can talk pretty much infinitely. So everyone's got to have a skill, you know, and that's one of mine. Is I can keep on going with only a moderate level of nonsense for quite a long time. It's just one of the things that I never realised I could do. But there you go. So I can keep on going. I can keep on chatting about pretty much nothing, and hopefully amusing you. But we're nearly there, and it also means sometimes you get a bit slapdash, you know. So you're a bit less careful about your work. That's going to be a pain doing that one. A bit less careful about your work than you might. Let's callously throw these bodies down the stairs just to demonstrate. What I mean, making a big mess, but they were going to be a mess no matter what. There we go. Look, I'm either going to bounce them off the stairwell on the way down, or I'm going to just chuck them down the stairs. You know, there's not really a good way of doing this. You're a bit of a pain, though. I should have. We're gone are the days when you'd come back to find that you'd come back from a save to find that your bin had vanished, but the contents of the bin were still there, frozen in space-time, ready to scatter at the slightest touch. Doesn't happen anymore, but you still get glitchy things happen when you've been away from a bin for a while. Is that all the bodies? No, there's someone else over here who's lurking in the corner. Who's this? Joe Soap. Remember you, Joe? Remember you? I think your note was downstairs. Can't remember. But this is the last body. So hopefully no, that's not true. That's not true. There's loads in the office. We'll keep on going. We'll make a lovely pile down the bottom of the stairs. There. We'll just do some mopping to clean up afterwards. It'll be fun. It'll be good. So yeah, I had a longer break than I expected from last time. I was hoping to finish in one session last time, but I think we'll get it all done. We'll get it all done today. That's what we will do. Yeah, last time I'd left you, I was going for lunch and letting the dog out in the garden. It's still nice weather in the UK, and the dog needs to go outside. He's an outdoorsy dog. He doesn't look like it. He looks like a cuddly little fluffer who should be, you know, on someone's lap somewhere, or possibly his little head poking out of a designer bag. Not quite. He's a little bit too big for that, but he's getting that way, and that's the impression people certainly get of him when they see him. But he loves to be outdoors. He loves to be out in his garden and running around, and he loves to play football, which is interesting. I mean, he's a rescue dog, so there's no reason why he should have picked up habits from me. But I have no interest in sport of any kind whatsoever. I've almost have negative interest in sport. That's how bad it is. And I know why that is. It's because my parents. Well, you learn a lot of stuff from your parents, obviously. Let's start mopping our way that way, shall we? Pick up some of this goddamn mess I've made here. No, my dad was never interested in sports, football or anything else that I ever recall. Have a quick think a second. I need to get this bin downstairs because that's going to make a mess going down, but well, I'll worry about that in a minute. Yeah, so he never had interest in sports, I can think of at all, and therefore I didn't. You know, football, and that's where you learn things. That's where you That's where you get your football teams from if you're a football fan. Usually from your parents. Not always, but often. Neither mum either. No, I can't think of anything that I liked. And in a similar way, my kids just not bothered about sports at all. I mean, my wife, she likes cricket. Not to play it, but to watch it. She's Indian. It's virtually a racial determinant. The fact they like cricket. My middle one, he'll take part in sports to some degree, but otherwise they're just not bothered, to say the least. So the dog, but it's okay because the dog is sporty enough for all of us. So he loves to play football in the garden, and he really does to some degree. It's hard to not to anthropomorphise, but to some degree, he really does play football. He's not the sort of dog that just runs after a ball. He'll do that. Mostly he wants you to chase after him with the ball, but he will. Let's get these bodies out of the way. My beloved colleagues, while I'm talking about dogs playing football. There we go. The last few. Yeah, he's got a little football which was like a little toy one that he likes to. He destroys things, but for some reason he's got a particular fondness for this very soft ball and has not destroyed it. He likes to run around the garden with that. And he also has a football, a proper football, that you might wonder where I got it from if we're not footballers, but I think it was at some point lost over the fence from one of the neighbours. It's a proper nice top quality football. He just chases it around the garden. And he literally dribbles it around the garden with his nose. And if you can play, to some degree, a small amount of passing with him. He likes to get in the way of it too much, but you can pass it to him, and he'll nudge it back to you. It's really quite strange. I don't know what satisfaction, but he will do that in the summer for literally hours. Luckily, I recently gave him a haircut, because he was overheating in the sun. He was footballing so much. Footballing crazy. And it's just really bizarre. He is, I often say to the kids, when they first had a dog, I said, having a dog is like having a little brother or a little sister. He's like a forever child, and he has the same sort of interest, in the same way that a small child will happily have you read them the same book at bedtime, forever and ever. You're totally sick of it as a parent, but they want to hear, read me that book again, Daddy. They love it, and he is like that in terms of his attitude. He will happily do the same thing that he loves all the time, forever. He never gets bored with it particularly, which is kind of funny and endearing at the same time. So that's what he'll do. He'll play football in the garden. That's what I had to let him out do. He had to go and run around with his football for a while, and occasionally he'll come back in again, holding one of the balls and saying, I'm outside. Why are you not outside playing with me? Hello, come and play with me. So we do that for a while. Until he puffs me out, because I'm an old fat bloke. I can't run around that much. And yeah, he has a way of a time, little love. My current child. He's my smallest child. He really is. He's just like a child in the family. He's treated like a baby by everybody. Even though he, of course, is a savage, feral little beast. If we didn't feed him enough, he would eat us all. No, he wouldn't. He's a little treasure. Anyway, enough about my dog. I won't try not to be boring about your parents or your children, or your pets. They're very endearing. If you ever catch up with me on Twitter, you'll see pickies of him on there, being adorable. Anyway, so he's downstairs. He's not allowed upstairs. He's downstairs doing whatever he's doing, probably sitting in the sunshine, I would imagine. Not being super constructive like me, cleaning up virtual things. Right, that box probably needs to go downstairs, but let's put some more stuff in there before we take it down. It's going to bounce off the stairs anyway, bounce off the floor and make a mess. You can see I've been making a little pile of the signs over here because they're so easy to laser. We've got a strange contrast here. We've got a peace, please, the most useless of protests, and we've got a dead management sign. And who's this? This is Kate Goodrich. I don't think we've seen Kate before. Where's the PID thingy? There it is. What a collection! Is that the greatest number of bodies we've seen so at any level, any regular level? Possibly. I'm not sure. It is a lot of hats on the floor. Who's this? This is Elizabeth Whitehall, HR manager. We know what a popular department HR is. What a day! First there was the aftermath of Mrs. Parawati's curry. Is that to do with the bathroom bandit we saw earlier? And now I've had multiple reports of run-ins with the sanitation personnel. Something is definitely up with them, and does not bode well. I suppose I'll have to run this by their representative, Mrs. Fielder. Ever since she was employed as liaison, she started to identify with a lot of them. Highly irregular. Well, I'll just have to bite the bullet and run this through her. She better get them in iron before the higher-ups hear about this, or we're all for it. Well, there you go. Just what you expect, really, from management. Oh, there's an arm over here. Now, look. Whose arms come off? I don't have any arms. There wasn't a lot of dismemberment, was there, really? One of the guys got blown to pieces behind the... oh, my goodness, the handprints. Like someone was trying to crawl away, maybe. Yeah, there was the guy who was blown to pieces behind the furnace, which I suspect was an accident, actually. And we had... so I'm not moving the bin to me because it's full of... It's going to make a mess on the floor. But this is... Oh, I hate these things. It's because another one's already in there. What else? But not many people have actually been torn to pieces. I guess it was just an errant round, went through the joint and made the limb fall off. Lovely. And I've obviously missed the benefit of how the bodies have died, how the bodies have ended up here. On another note, because I've already taken the bodies away. Who's this? Peter Jackson. That'll teach you. What a terrible thing you did to Lord of the Rings. Not that he did a terrible thing, really, but he... Well, I'm very happy with everything he's done about Lord of the Rings. Very topical, I'm sure. What did I do with the PIDs? Did I just bring them in here? Did I? Because I'm talking and not thinking. Yes, that's correct. That's exactly what I did. Bob Frias. Listen. We will be heard. Listen, we will be heard. Not quite sure I get that message. Did I not see a note? Here it is. Jane Doe. Well, we carried her body on my earlier. Hygiene. I keep telling everyone they won't listen, but they're too busy celebrating. This is what I said earlier. And playing that dumb game. It's all just too easy. It doesn't feel right at all. I've heard things in the vents and in the elevator shafts. I don't think it's working. Management hasn't contacted us. No representative has come to talk. I'm worried. I'm really fucking worried. I know, Jane. I think you had every right to be. One of you had sensitive, but I said they were buoyed up by their own apparent success. They thought they were doing so well, and it's all a bit sad, isn't it, really? No organs, please. Thank you very much. It's all a bit sad. Their little taste of success, which wasn't really success at all, was it? The glass we can put outside and burn the whole lot. This wonderful little bonfire we're going to have. At least they weren't too destructive. I mean, I think the glass was broken by the robots coming. I don't think this lot were rampaging around. They were graffitiing, but they were too civilized to be... Check out the window. They were too civilized to be actually smashing stuff. Weren't they? Look, I had to try. You knew it wasn't going to work, but I thought I'd try it anyway. You know? Oh no! Gotcha! No, my timing's all off. Oh no, I thought I could catch it on the way out. Remember I could do that, viewer? When I was so pro that I could just catch the organs on the way out? Apparently not anymore. Oh goodness. My skills are all fading. I haven't done any sniffing. This I have to look. Actually, not true. I have done a little bit of sniffing, haven't I? I did the sniffing downstairs to see if the gloves and things were rubbish. But that'll be the thing. There'll be a great sniff hunt. And sometimes these things go well, if I've been thorough. Sometimes I discover all the horrors of the stuff I've missed. But I've got a good feeling about this one. I think I'm going to sniff and find very precious little that I've missed. What a glorious pile of junk we're going to laser. Yes, that'll be good. That'll be fun anyway. Oh dear. Just don't knock it over, you. There we go. It'd be nice to have a bucket with a heavier base, wouldn't it? So I'm less likely to knock it over. But that's not really the point. So we need to do a bunch of aciding. And there's some stuff on the ceiling, some graffiti on the ceiling. We're going to need a bunch of acid upstairs. But it's nearly there. Nearly clean. I just realised all the bullet holes. They really hammered this room, didn't they? Maybe the robots were slightly overexcited as they first came up. But they blew all the way through here and into the room. And in fact, because this pillar's been hit, but then the wall behind the pillar's been hit, that suggests to me that they've moved while firing. To really spray the room. I'm not quite sure why this room got particularly hammered. I can't remember who was in here now. Maybe they figured this is where a lot of the troublemakers were, the main ringleaders of this. Okay. I think that's most of the bullet holes. There might be some more. Oh, there's some more over here, look. Let's burn this lot up, though. Here we go. Oh, I got an achievement unlocked. Disintegrator. As you know, although I've been playing this game for a very long time, achievements were introduced relatively late. So I should probably have got a lot of them many times over, but let's just chuck these in it. They'll chuck these in here anyway, or in the box that's over there. But effectively, I'm still catching up on all these achievements. Oh, it was all going so well. Achievement, how many buckets you've knocked over. That's probably one of them as well. But otherwise, this room is done. The way these filing cabinets are stacked, it almost feels like they were trying to barricade the lifts as well. Which is kind of surprising. I thought that they didn't... It would be too fast for them to do anything. They didn't know the droids were coming. Which is kind of bizarre. Maybe they came down that one as well. I don't know. But just the way they're put in front of the elevators seems strange. Oh, they've also done a fairly good job. Are you insured enough? Bullet hole in the sign there. I think I've done a fairly good job of dealing with the boxes as well. Probably more than I have done in the past. Because I don't feel like there's a lot of stacking. There's some boxes I just simply threw downstairs. Were you trying to hide in the corner? Who was this? Joe Soap, isn't it? Yeah, that's kind of sad, Joe. What else would you do in a situation like that, though? I think I'll probably be hiding. I think I'm guaranteed I'll be hiding in the corner. Yeah, I've got most of the filler boxes I've just simply thrown downstairs because I've not stacked them yet. But most of them are there. Where should we make a pile of these? Probably over here, I'd imagine. There we go. Can we burn those? What is it? I can't. What a can does when you burn it. Does it make something or not? That paper definitely burns up. I've got a feeling a can might become something. Anyway, we'll stack over before. I'm not even reading the signs now. You know, at the end of the day, you're tired, you want to go home. Like the callousness I talked about before. No longer do I care what has happened to my fellow employees. What was in that? That's really disgusting. That's particularly greasy, that one. Oh, I'm surprised any left. So who's this? Oh, it's Ruth again. This is the liaison. I think I've made a mistake. A terrible mistake. Management hasn't come. It's the third day already. Wow, they were here longer than I expected. I shouldn't have thrown my lot in with these guys. Management has no intention of giving us what we want. I was trying to mobilise everyone to secure the doors and stay alert, but they have no discipline. Ah, so they had put some things in front of the doors, but not really. I feel it'll make us easy pickings. What am I thinking? I'm even wearing their goddamn outfits, for Christ's sake. Shit, there it is again, that noise. Fuck it, I'm going downstairs. It's way too exposed up here. Well, she was close then, wasn't she? I guess she just made the decision slightly too late. I think it was her in the corner? That was Tom. Joe rather. Well, oh well. She didn't manage it in time. It's kind of funny as well. I'm sort of impressed that, not really with me, but with the fact that the story was so obvious. What was happening was so obvious even to an adult like me. You know, I was picking through what I thought would happen. The fact that she was wearing their outfits and all the rest of it. To feel part of the group. Kind of good. I do love Runestorm. Judy Lawson. Judy? Did we have Judy already? Don't know. Almost got too many PIDs for the bucket. And who's this? Eve Runford. Good ratio of men to women there. I don't know why I commented on that. It just seemed like a thing. Right, so we've got a bunch of graffiti. We've got Joe Soap's well. And the sad thing is, when I'm finished, all evidence of what has happened here will be gone, won't it? I've been complicit. I really am a scab. I've been complicit in covering up the revolution. How many other revolutions do you think there might have been in places like this, where people have risen up and then the evidence of what they've done has been vanished by first the robots and then someone like me? Just doing my job. Kids and a dog to feed, you know. There've really been nothing left, will there? Graffiti's all gone. Bodies are all gone. Notes are all gone.